we're gonna get on here. We're gonna be laughing, and I'm totally fine with that. But you don't want to look bald on here sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
Hello. Hi, Kathy, Kelly. Thank you for coming this morning. We are giggling because we are kind of looking alike this morning. We're in
Unplanned.
blue. We're in blue. We've got some side ponytails going on here that we didn't plan. So super fun. I like starting our lives off this way, ladies. All right. So good morning, everybody. I'm teacher Casey. Thanks for coming to my channel. And today we're going to talk about some tough questions. I'd like to do this at least bi-weekly with these tough ones. We've been doing weekly chats on Saturdays, but we have a list of questions that we'd like to bring to you. So let's see. Today I have my friends Rebecca, Evelyn, and Kelly. Good morning, ladies.
Good
Morning.
You
morning.
guys might not be able to see Kelly yet, but she'll be here in just a second. So let's introduce ourselves. Maybe we can start. Whoever wants to go first, because I did not see who was first today.
Okay, we're a tie. Go ahead, Evelyn. You can go first.
Okay. Hi, my name's Evelyn Joy, and I'm an online Spanish teacher on OutSchool, and I make YouTube videos. My channel name is Evelyn Joy.
Awesome. Rebecca?
I'm Rebecca F. I have a Rebecca F. online teaching YouTube, and I talk about teaching online with little kids in the house, how to navigate that. I teach on OutSchool, science experiments, and math games, and just kind of share my knowledge with whatever I have to share.
Awesome. Good morning, Kelly.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. You're already rocking out with workouts and getting things done this morning. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Want to introduce yourself?
Yes. So I'm Teacher Kelly Tag. My channel is all about teaching, brick and mortar online teaching and resources, things like that. And occasionally I talk about a former cult I'm in, which I want to give a plug because after this, at the top of the next hour, 10 a.m. Eastern, I'm going live with Cindy on her channel to talk more about that. So,
Oh, on her channel. Okay. So
yes.
she is Cindy
Cindy
Bennett,
Bennett 13.
13. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I can
Well,
never
her
remember if the
channel's
third.
Cindy Bennett, but if you look up Cindy Bennett 13, you'll find it right away.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was just going to say too. I was like, I always just start typing it and then I can't remember if the 13 is on the channel name or just when I'm finding her. So awesome. All right. Well, let's get started. Am I super loud? Somebody let me know. No?
No, you're
Okay.
fine.
You're
All
perfect.
right. So Stephanie, good morning. Stephanie's here as well. Stephanie, I think you're going to like some of these because I know you're still in brick and mortar. We'd love to know your thoughts too. So, all right. The first one is help. So we're gonna help. We're gonna try to help. My principal has sent out a climate culture survey, and it is mandatory. And we are required to sign in with our school email and put our first and last name. How can I help her see that this is completely inappropriate? So, I mean, the first question is the first and last name of the teacher. And the very actual first question is, I feel supported by my principal. Definitely, sometimes, or I do not feel supported by my principal. I don't think I could like answer that honestly,
Right.
if I have to use my email. And I don't know, what do you guys think?
Same. Like, there's no way you could be honest if you're using your email, and it could affect your job or how your principal treats you. So that's
Yeah.
unfair. And who's making her do this? Is it the principal or the school system or both?
It sounded like the principal, but it says it's recording the email. The principal sent this to all the team leaders. I don't know if you guys did team leaders. We had team leaders when I was teaching brick and mortar. So I was like the kindergarten team leader for a while, and we had like 12 kindergarten classrooms. So they would come to me, tell me what I needed to share with the team. So this went to the team. It was yes, everyone will put their name on it. I will not be accepting any anonymous concerns. We all need to learn to be professional and honest.
My first thought, it's a trap.
It's a trap. Just
Yeah.
don't be honest. Don't be honest.
I
Right.
definitely feel supported by my principal.
Right?
You
Right.
almost feel trapped into saying that because if you don't,
Right.
But you have to be willing to have maybe a sit down with the principal of, okay, how can I best support you? And if it really is a supportive principal, then you wouldn't say that they're not supportive. So you'd feel free to come to them with any issues. So I don't
Right.
know, it's kind of like
Yeah.
a circle. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think it's
tough.
fair.
No. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Casey.
Oh no, I was saying the same, just agreeing with it. Evelyn, what'd you
Yeah.
So I worked as an ELL aide at 2 different elementary schools. So the first elementary school I was an ELL aide, everybody always complained about the principal, but it was my first experience. So I was like, I don't know any different. But then I worked at the second elementary school and I found out what a supportive, actual good staff looks like. And then I understood the complaints from the first one.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, okay, I see what's lacking,
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell just by the way the email is worded, the way she's practically threatening to the people receiving it. I can tell that it's the first kind of principal. Just like it's an unsupportive principal and they're not going to change their ways. They're sending this out of obligation from someone above them, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if they're really like evil person, they're purposely doing it to see like, okay, I'm going to treat you different if you don't like me or
Mhm.
something.
I know who's on their team and who's not.
Or
Because they
show their
don't
higher
favor
ups.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show their higher ups. Oh, look, I'm so well liked. And it shows I'm
Everybody
supportive
likes me.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Very
would,
different.
so I would fill it out, of course, not honestly. I would just give like the best. And then it depends. If it was my first year, I probably would just leave it at that. If I had been there for a while, I would put in the bottom, usually it says something like any other suggestions. I'd say in the future, I think this should be anonymous so that
So that I can answer this truthfully because I didn't
right,
this time.
right. Or yeah, but I would word it more tactfully. But basically,
Right.
so I just, yeah, that's so
Oh.
unfair to do, but
Stephanie says she agrees. It doesn't seem safe to answer honestly. If that principal wants honest feedback, you are going to give these teachers paper, pencil, and they're going to check the box that way or write a
Anonymously.
comment that way. You just never know. And with emails being recorded and everything, or if you send it off, then they're going to see your email. I wouldn't do it like that. Nope.
I was going to say there was 3 answer options given. What were they again?
Oh yeah. Definitely. Sometimes I do not feel supported by my principal.
Okay, so if I did not feel at all supported by my principal, I would put sometimes because I would feel too dishonest to put definitely.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I
Okay.
would put like,
There was
that's
one
a
time that you were
answer.
supportive, so sometimes.
But you know
Sometimes
what?
it's honest.
I feel like that could open the door for maybe discussion. If those are your
Right.
3 choices and you can literally think of something that maybe they could have done better that you could talk to them about, maybe you do put that and then
it
yeah.
depends on the personality of the principal because some people don't want to hear any criticism about
True.
themselves and they would even hold against you the sometimes.
I agree.
So,
It's
yeah.
true.
Mhm.
Man, I can think of some awesome principals I've had and some that would send something like this out that I'd be like, because like I think Kelly mentioned it, if you have a very supportive principal, they're not going to send something like this out unless they are made to from higher up. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna, they don't need to know. They know they're supportive. They know they're rock stars, I think. So yeah. Anything else on that?
Well, also, if they truly are supportive, they would be the types to send that out anonymously because they would want to know for real, what can I do to improve?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
they probably want to know who should I support most. If somebody
Agreed.
says I'm not supportive, well, I want to know who is that so I can reach out. But if it's anonymous, I can't. But yeah, it does let people be more open and honest. But you could probably find out some way.
Right.
Like if you're not supportive, like they're down, please come see me. We'll figure out a way that I can help you out here because I want to be a team with everybody.
Yeah, I definitely think there could have been another question on there. I mean, we don't see the whole thing, but maybe the principal that sends it anonymously says, if there's something I could do better, please let me know. If you are not feeling supportive and you feel like that it is okay to share your name with me so I can like chat and see what I can do better to help you. I definitely think they could word that in a great way.
like sharing who you are should be optional. Like if
Right.
you want to say, I'm a kindergarten teacher and I don't feel supported in the kindergarten area or whatever, right?
Right.
If you
Hey,
want it.
Nostalgic Pod Blast, thanks for coming.
I think his name is Chase.
Chase.
Did I get it right? Yeah, okay, good.
I think so. I always have to decide between that. Please hit the like. Oh, thanks. So your family, Chase, probably has some feelings about this too, since they are brick and mortar teachers. So, all right, I think we all agree on that question there. So, how about this one? Now, this one's got a little bit word, so just Chance. Oh, it's Chance.
Oh,
Real close.
so
We're getting
close.
there. We're
Sorry.
getting there. I have to
One
figure out a
letter
way
away.
to remember it. I gotta think. I did that last week too. I'm like, I know it's Chase or Chance, and he told me or a couple weeks ago. But okay, here's another one.
Casey, you have one chance to remember it.
Oh, good one. Good
All right,
one.
one chance to remember. Okay, I'll try that. Okay, this one's a little bit wordy, but hang with me. I work for a virtual charter school as a special education teacher. I gave my notice on Friday. Their last day will be coming up at the end of the month. I offered to write 2 IEPs that are scheduled for the next day. So this teacher is leaving, already gave notice. And it was more than 2 weeks if I remember correctly. But anyway, they have a meeting scheduled for the next day, so they're going to write the IEPs. My direct supervisor said she would talk to the director and see what my next steps are. A couple hours later, she sends me a message that says she and the director are asking me to complete the paperwork and hold the meetings for all IEPs and 504 plans that are due on or before, I guess the dates are important here, April 12th. So she's leaving January 31st, or him, I don't know. Leaving January 31st, some meetings on 2/1 that they're willing to get ready for, but they want him or her to do all of the 504 plans and IEPs and hold the meetings on April 12th. That would be about 15 meetings. The question is, am I wrong? I can see Kelly smile. Am I wrong for saying that I won't be doing that? I will complete the 2 I already offered to complete. I'll even write the IEPs that are due the following week, but I'm not holding all the meetings that are due in the next 3 months.
No. Heck no.
Kelly, I knew that was your answer.
Can you
Right.
guess if this principal is supportive? Definitely. Sometimes, or maybe not.
Yeah.
Different principal, by the way, I'm sure.
All right, so what do you guys think besides just like
He's like, she's
Definitely not,
leaving
like-
that job to go to another job, I'm assuming. So she can't take
Mm.
time off of her new job to then hold even virtual meetings for her first job. Like that just
Yeah.
doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Also, well, I have a question. Is she completely leaving teaching or, well, I doubt she would do this in the middle of the year. Like, is she going to be in the same county? I doubt it if she's living in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
Is she going to a different teaching job in another place? Also, I doubt that in the middle of the year. So if she's going to a job that's not even teaching, they can't tell you anything. They literally cannot make you. There's
Or like
nothing.
maternity leave. Like, is she gonna have a baby at this meeting? You know?
Oh, good question. Yeah, because that would make a difference too. Is she coming
Hmm.
back to
Would be
that
available.
job? So maybe they would be able to, it would be harder to
Mhm.
say no, but it's
Right, but she said her last day, so
That's
it
true.
doesn't seem like she is going to come back. So I don't think it's maternity leave, but that would change the wording. Yeah, and the availability for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, like just you're not obligated. You're not working there anymore, especially if you're leaving to go to a different job that's not even teaching. They cannot
Right.
make you do it. Just
Right,
say
and
no.
some jobs, yeah, some jobs are, oh, you're leaving this day, then this day's your cutoff day. Don't do any work after that day.
Yeah.
That's what happened with my job. They said, that's your last day. Don't come back. Don't do any work. I'm like, but I
See
need to
ya.
finish one thing. Yeah. So here she's going above and beyond. She says, I know
Yeah.
this meeting's scheduled for the day after my last day. I will help out with that. I'll even write up for one more for the next week. I'll go above and beyond,
Hmm.
but that's it.
Also these IEP meetings and 401 meetings, like they're about what is the teacher going to do moving forward. She can't give information about what the next teacher is going to do for the student. You know what I
Right.
mean?
It's 5:04.
5:04, yeah.
I'm
But
sorry.
That's okay. Just,
So
I know
the-
people are gonna comment, so.
the
My
meetings,
bad, my bad.
I mean, just for that, the meetings are for not necessarily the teacher moving forward, what they're going to do, but what the teachers, it is what they're going to be doing, but it's what they're
Yeah.
mandatory to do. So it's really any teacher should be able to step in, read the 504 or the IEP and deliver or follow exactly what's on there. So we do have teachers that sub in, and it's okay because it's all about what helps the student for them moving on. But I don't think she should have to do it. But on the other hand, if they told me I should or asked me to, I wouldn't be able to say no, even though I would want to.
Even if you're moving on to like a completely different job, like not even in teaching,
What if
you're
you're-
gonna be, yeah, I'll take a day off from
What
my
if you're
other
moving
job.
to another state?
Well,
Even
that
if
would
you
be different, and
weren't,
then she wouldn't be asking the question. You know what I mean? That
she
if
might
she's
be. She might be like, come on, do it through Zoom.
Well, she did say it was a virtual school she was working at.
That's
true.
true.
Everything is virtual, but it does mean that you have to be available on your computer in the middle of the day
Right.
to conduct these online meetings. And if she's working at any other place, even if it's another
Right.
virtual school, she may not have that window of time available because she's booked at her new job.
I mean, you have a
Right.
list of the meetings. So if she's already booked, I think that would be an easy thing of not having to say, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think she'd be asking the question if she
Oh.
already had that blocked out and was like, obviously I can't do it. I've already got a job, or I can't, you know what I mean?
But some principals, the unsupportive ones, they don't care what you have going on or the other school. They just care about, I need you. And also, it's not just about that meeting. Those IEP and 504 meetings take a lot of prep. So you're expecting
Oh,
her
yeah.
to prep for all those 15 when that's not even your
Right.
job anymore and you're not getting paid.
The other thing about that, though, see, I'm playing the other side here. Who's gonna do that? No
Do
one
what?
has dealt with those kids. They don't have the data. Hopefully she's got some data that she can share and write it out.
Right. She can share her data, but that's not
Yeah.
fair to even expect her to do that.
Oh, I
She doesn't-
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But I'm just thinking a teacher coming in is like, I have never met your child. I think they're gonna have to postpone the meeting until a new teacher comes in and meets the student. And
But there's
Yeah.
deadlines. I'm a special ed teacher now. There's deadlines. Sometimes you
Yes.
you have to have the meeting by this date or
right,
you're in trouble. So
there are extensions and situations on certain legal documents, but I mean that's just an extra step the school would have to do. So I don't know that they would want to do it either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is why she's waiting to do the one for February 1st because she know
Mhm.
that was kind of so soon that no other teacher can fill in for that one. And even
Yeah.
the next week, she's like, okay, I'll write one extra one,
Yeah.
right. And she
but the
doesn't
rest
even
can
have to.
be postponed.
Or
Yeah,
she
not
could
really.
offer, like if she wants to go above and beyond, she could offer to just have a conversation with the next teacher who would be conducting that meeting.
Right.
Like, hey, I'm not working here anymore, but here's my number. Call me if you have any questions or want any input right before the meeting.
Mhm.
But she's not obligated to do that. But if she wanted
Yeah.
to, just for the sake of the kids, she could. But to expect her to conduct all those meetings,
Right.
even
I agree. If she's leaving, she should be able to leave. That is, those just writing all the paperwork for those, like,
yeah.
that's a lot of work. Yeah. So I think we all agree on that one too.
Mhm.
I
Yep,
think
and the comments agree as well.
Yeah.
Stephanie. Yeah, Evelyn.
this also points to a problem that a lot of people are facing nowadays. For example, a friend of mine, she specifically moved to a neighborhood. She specifically lived in an apartment that was more expensive because it had a public school that was supposedly really good for special needs kids. Well, there was a lot of special needs kids that went to that school. There was like 13 special needs kids in her daughter's classroom. And the teacher kept changing because teachers would quit because it was too much for them. And so this points to another issue we have is that, well, we're seeing teachers are not supported in 2024, right? And then
Right.
also the need is too great and they as much as the teacher may desire to meet the needs of all the students, it's not physically possible without like more support. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. That is true.
Stephanie said, I would leave my data binder I have for each child. It would be clear to see where the students are. You could also speak with a general education teacher. I was thinking the same thing, but where it being virtual, I don't know. I guess they would have a gen ed too. It depends on what the needs are of the child too, if it's
True.
Well,
inclusion.
my husband works, my husband works at a virtual school, and he says a lot of the things on the IEP are built into the virtual environment. Like, oh, I can turn my assignments later. Sure, you can turn them in whenever you want to. I
Right.
can have reduced assignments. Yep, we're doing that for everybody. I can have extra bathroom breaks. Sure, you're at home. Have as many bathroom breaks as you want. So a lot of things are already built into the virtual environment, which makes it easier to
Nice.
write these IEPs. You don't have as much of like that visual day-to-day, observing of them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they have one day that the meds aren't working very well. We'll just shift the assignments to the next day. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot more flexible virtually.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a good point. Oh, hey, Cindy. Cindy's here. We just shouted out going to your channel next. She said, good point. The need is too great in many ways. Yeah. Okay. We have time for one more. That's like 10 minutes of question. This is perfect. All right. So this one starts off saying, I definitely care about my students. Don't get me wrong, and want to be sure I am providing them with the best opportunity I can. I am being invited to meetings 45 minutes to an hour before school or after school outside of my contract hours and told, no, I will not be paid for it. I'm not cool with that. Why can't teachers be compensated for hours beyond their contracts? I'm sorry, but my presence and expertise cost money, honey. I'm sorry. I thought that was funny. So that's what she says, that's what she wishes she could say. But instead, I feel a bit guilty, and worse, I don't get to know how to best serve my students who have special needs.
I mean, I was reading, I think it might have been one of the comments to that because you sent it to us, or I was reading somewhere else. Someone was saying teaching's like the only profession where people don't say no, like they just roll over and like, okay. I think because teachers in general have that personality of caring, kind, and unfortunately gets taken advantage of. Like I could see if it's an IEP meeting at the end of the day and it goes a little over, or if you just have like one you absolutely couldn't fit in during the school day, but to expect purposely for her to come in late and early for all those meetings is so unfair. And number one, number two, I think it's partially laziness on the principal's part of not wanting to try to find subs to cover every time she needs to go to those meetings. So, I mean, we have contracted hours for a reason, and I think more teachers need to just start saying no, because there's already a teacher shortage. They can't do anything if you say no. It's so unfair to expect that of you.
Yeah.
And say no. I know it's easier said than done, especially if it's like your first year at the job, but that's ridiculous expecting that of a teacher.
I agree.
Yeah, it should be written into the contract. I know when I was a teacher, we had to be there 15 minutes prior and 15 minutes after the students. That was a contract hour, our contract time. But once a week, we had staff meeting that met like an hour before the kids arrived. So I don't remember if that was built into our contract or is just assumed like you will come to the once a week staff meeting. And like I'm with salary, so my time, like it doesn't matter, early or later, it's all the same money. And it sounds like she's a salary teacher too. But it sounds like these are extra meetings that come in sporadically, which is not like, okay, this is a weekly thing that's just, you're going to come to.
Yeah, like I definitely have like once a month or once every other week meetings I have to be there 30 to 45 minutes early for, and I'm okay with that. It's just that they're purposely scheduling these after school when they could schedule them during school, and it's a lot of them.
We saw this we have seen this many times where teachers are being asked to work outside of contract hours, and some have their own children too. And not that that should change it, but it does a little bit. Like you've got to get your own child ready in the mornings. You got to pick them up from after school or after school sports or other things. For our school, we also had it contracted in our hours for certain meetings after school. So we had, I think it was like every Wednesday or every Thursday we had a 1 hour meeting. So like the first Wednesday of the month would be, you know, a team meeting. The next one would be an all over school meeting and you know, things like that. So those were in our contracted hours. Cindy said, in our state, the union prohibits using teachers to do anything they don't get paid for. They will demand compensation for every minute. Good.
Yeah.
And
Good.
Stephanie said, yes, because when we say no, it affects the students, and that's hard to say no to because we love our students. We always feel guilty. Yeah, same.
And they use that against you. Remember, it's for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is easier if like you're single or you don't have any kids. You're like, yeah, it's just an hour after school, sure. But yeah, if you have to go pick up your kids at a different school or even at the school you're at, bring them to the meeting with you, find somebody else to watch them, it makes it very tricky to navigate all of that. Whereas if it's a once a week, okay, every Thursday afternoon you're having a staff meeting, okay, I have it figured out that every Thursday afternoon my kid's going this place. But to throw in other random meetings, it makes it really challenging for families.
Yeah.
Also, I think of teachers that have a second job because financially, unfortunately, some teachers have to have a second job. When I worked at the elementary school as an ELL aide, after school, I worked at a daycare. So like,
Yeah.
But also,
You have-
I'm talking from a business perspective now, like in any job, that your personal life shouldn't dictate. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, Rebecca has kids, so and Kelly doesn't, so she should be the one to stay for the meeting. That doesn't matter.
I
Like
agree.
it should be the same. It should be the same for everyone. So if you're not expecting Rebecca to stay after, then you shouldn't expect Evelyn to stay after as well. It should be
Right.
level no matter what people's personal life is, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
I agree. I think we all agree on all three of them. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. I see. Yes, in my district. So Stephanie in her district, they also have contract hours that they can hold meetings every Tuesday past their contract time. So our school was very good about it though. Well, our union was pretty rocking too. They were very active in it and made sure. Yeah,
But
Evelyn.
I like how it says like every Tuesday. So it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be every Tuesday, but it goes Tuesdays are the day that we could hold meetings. So be available. And maybe it's written into the contract. So on Tuesdays, you know that I could have to stay an extra hour not compensated because I did sign the contract. But I won't have to do Fridays or Mondays. So that's a little bit nice.
Yeah. We held most of the meetings in school. And I know I've said on this channel before, I was very fortunate where I was at. I was on a base. So they actually gave the military members time off to go to these meetings because, you know, family's important. So they would actually like for conference days, if teachers scheduled a conference, then 90% of the parents would show up because they had time off from their squadrons or whatever.
That's
You know,
great.
they gave it to them ahead of time, or they would come back and say, hey, I don't have that time, but I have this time. Like I would give a couple that I had. And so it was really, really fortunate for that one that the school was able to work with the community and things like that.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me from the military, but yeah.
So anything else? I think we hit all three in record time, guys. Awesome. Well, we're going to try to do these. Well, I'm hoping you guys want to too. I'm thinking this could be a bi-weekly thing where we just pick out a few questions and discuss them. We may not always agree on them, but I think a lot of things we're going to agree on. We're all moms and teachers here, but yeah, we'd love you to come back on Saturdays. We seem to go live 9 o'clock Eastern now, and that's been kind of working out for us. So thanks, ladies. Don't forget to check out Rebecca F's channel, Evelyn Joy, and Teacher Kelly Tag. She will be on Cindy's channel here in 30 minutes?
Yes.
You got it to work. I don't think mine's set up yet, but all right, everyone. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Evelyn.